a very, very warm welcome to you. It's lovely having you here today, and I look forward to a very engaging conversation with you, and of course, putting you on the firing line. But before that, before we get into it, a quick check-in. How's things going with you? How's 2021 treating you so far? And I hope you and your family are safe and well.
Family are safe and well, yeah, it's been a very interesting ride. See, in technology, we are used to working remotely, right, throughout the world. So for the tech community, and especially for the things which I am working on, I think it was more about getting the model at home right, rather than the communication. Because you write remote code, architecture, technology experience, what you build, they can be done remotely anyways, because technology industry has got built like that. But I think getting the mix of home, the working model at home, and of course, trying to, such a large team I work with, them, their safety, their health, their mind space, keeping them going also is not easy, because, at the end of the day, a certain amount of exasperation kicks in, and then you need to rewind in a certain way. I would say interesting, not tough. Tough is generic to everyone, but it's been interesting.
It's been interesting, and we're all finding ways of living and coping with this new normal, because life is never going to be the same here on in. But let's get right to it. Sauvik, can you take us through some of the key trends around CXM with respect to data, content, and online commerce?
Let me just give you my background. My simple background is from 1998, 99 onwards. I'm a UK national. So I came back to India to build ETCIO and Tata Click. But over the last 21 years, if people ask me, what did you do? I've only built .coms and apps. My current wife, my then girlfriend, used to say, what are you building? What is this commerce and e-commerce which you build? And there was no answer, because in 2001, when broadband was getting penetrated in the northeast of England and in the southeast corner of US, nobody knew what the world of .com and commerce will become. To then, what I see today, barring India and China, US and Europe is behind, because India and China are scaling the world, because you don't have 100 million visitors in a week. Some of the big celebration day we have for internet commerce in India, and it was started by the Alibaba big shopping frenzy day, right? So right now, I think the prima facie work which senior technologists, experienced technologists, experience makers are working on, there's a beautiful theory which is ongoing, and we all are evangelizing and championing it, is your frontal cortex talks to makes your thumb move, which is your frontal cortex makes your thumb move. So a dynamic forebrain makes a linear thumb move. Whereas a linear thumb talks to a very linear smartphone, which has only had innovations in chips. The physical smartphone has never evolved as an innovation. Whereas within the smartphone, the apps are becoming very dynamic, very intelligent. So an app has to figure out what the faceless user is expecting to do, and how the thumb architecture works through a linear smartphone device, which is many devices in China and India and Southeast Asia. So this beautiful relationship where a app internet business or .com internet business for a mobile web, Android, iOS, desktop, has to figure out an anonymous user who might purchase X lakh rupee worth of a basket within a dwell time of a couple of minutes. So the challenge is for the makers, the experience makers, is to crack thumb architecture, is to crack the experience of how the n=1 personalization of a forebrain works of a faceless human being. And the app has to be that intelligent, because it has to reside. That is smart. Human beings are smart, but we have two very linear objects where the thumb is expected to work with a non-smart device where the apps are smarter. So that's the challenge. That's all we are cracking,
I
all
love
of
it.
us.
You know, it's been described to me in many ways what the trends are, but nobody's ever talked about thumb architecture and different parts of the brain. But yes, they all have to come together, and they're coming together so much more now when everything is turning to digital and everything is, the world is turning to digital. But you mentioned how it all started for you and where it all started. But talk us through your CXM journey and how Adobe has helped you in this journey.
So I've been working with Adobe from 2007, 8 onwards, across the world, primarily in Europe and East Coast. That time I was part of larger conglomerates like Accenture, Infosys, NetSuite, founder members of a few, again, a founder member of Accenture Digital. That time it was mapping the Adobe experience stack to the need of European commerce or internet businesses or US internet businesses. My experience journey has prima facie been adoption of .com from the paranoia of a native British to a native American to a native Indian. I don't want to use my credit or debit card. Is it something safe? So the adoption of experience and the mindset changed, and complete trust, where the world of payments have taken over, and the world of in the West we have the PayPal's, and over here we have the Phone Pays and the Google Pays and everything what we use on a daily basis, where the trust factor of a human mind space has shifted. So we started building experience knowing that there is a paranoia. Then the paranoia turned into people like us becoming maniacal focused on ensuring adoption. And then what we now do is, right, 650 million internet users are there in India, 1 billion smartphone devices are there. Now we have to scale and become better than our friends across who are competing with us and take them on, which is because US and Europe are the size of the population of internet base is nowhere close to India or China. So the paradigm shift has happened. So the experience is like a quick click checkout. Immediately, I should think of my search, and my search should be remembered. My browse discover journey when I'm buying a shirt or a dress for my wife, or she's browsing in internet.coms and apps, should be not more than X minutes, whereas the KRA of experience is we build more and more dwell time. So it's a bit of a contradiction. If I make my search experience fabulous, my browse experience takes a hit. If I make my checkout one click, like Amazon does, I get the dilution of what the ability for multiple instruments give me more offers and values. So it's a contradiction in the play. Adobe actually is a champion in this space. Adobe has helped me implement 150 country rollouts of a large government provider, large lifestyle provider. We all know the name. Adobe is one of the biggest clients. Adobe has helped me implement a 70 country rollout across the world, large healthcare provider. When I came back to India and I'd done Geo and I was the founding member of Tata Click, my relationship with Adobe became stronger and stronger. First, it was build the experience together, then build the analytics of the experience. Then when you build the analytics of the experience, build the experimentation, the test and learn part of the experience. I can keep running 2 screens at the same time, targeting 2 sets of audience segments in 12 cities. So that came into play with Adobe. And now when I started building Tata Digital and the super app, which we have, Adobe has been the partner from day one, and truly call them partners, Mandira, because they are not a vendor. They are there with you. They share the risk and the rewards and the pain and the success. And the group actually has a very soft spot for Adobe. I mean, a lot of group companies use Adobe, the entire enterprise marketing cloud stack. And it's built on great relationships, built on joint commitment to the country and the consumers of India, that we will not fail their experience, whether it's a load time issue, whether it's widget creation, whether it's building the journey of fulfillment, building dwell times together. So, I mean, if you ask me, like without Adobe in the last 5 years, damn tough to call a week out without talking to the teams.
Well, here's the thing, Adobe has a soft spot for you as well. So without getting into specifics, what are your organization's plans in the post-pandemic era with respect to delivering, unprecedented digital experiences?
We are an organization, Tata Digital is an organization which is building, and the mantra is to build internet businesses. And internet products and internet platforms. Tata Group, of course, has championed tech in very many ways. We have TCS, we have Tata Comms, the optical fiber of Tata Comms, 2/3 of the World Wide Web runs across the world. But what we were lacking was a true internet, digital, cloud native, digital native organization. And now, in the last 2 years, we can clearly call out 300 plus cities is where our X100 youngsters are operating. And we are a COVID native organization. I don't think in anywhere in the world such a large organization got built in the velocity of time amidst the pandemic. Post-pandemic, I think the model of operations of how we want to cater to the experience is still going to remain intact. Our consumer-facing businesses where we are building experience with Adobe will be still, the model will not change. But what we will do is, if the genuine pandemic is arrested and brick and mortar, which is our strength, right? Our stores, our footfall at hotels, airlines, if they do come back to normalcy and life, and I sincerely hope so, the online-offline marriage, which we were trying to crack, omnichannel is a very, very overused word. I mean, let's talk commerce. The online-offline plays a part of it, right? We were trying to crack that in massive way, whether it's for our hotels, our airlines, whether it's for our retail in electronics and lifestyle, whether it's for grocery, we will try and crack the online-offline experience so that a guy going into a Inorbit or a Phoenix Mall, where there are about 8 Tata Group brands and stores, can seamlessly do something online, offline, whether it's commerce, whether it's payments, whether it's loyalty, whether it's the overall experience where I can go and look at a planogram and I can basically pick a product, check out the pricing, check out the know-how, and a contactless payment. So all of that is planned, built, but unfortunately, March 2020 hit us. Until now, our stores and hotels are moderately operating. I'm sincerely hoping that we will crack that online-offline experience.
Right, now let's look at Sauvik as a customer himself. What are your expectations from brands when it comes to memorable experiences? And if you'd like to share some unforgettable experiences that you have had, be it shopping online or dining out, or when it comes to hospitality.
See, I liked what a lot of innovation has happened due to pandemic. Think of it this way. Today, due to pandemic, e-commerce has shot through the roof. That industry is, if we were not, e-commerce wasn't existing in India, can you imagine this pandemic? How would we have organized anything?
Hard to imagine. We wouldn't be sitting right now and having this conversation.
Yeah, right, absolutely. And of course, social media also played a big part in evangelizing, bringing together. And people talk about the dark side of social media. I mean, let's talk about the good sides. And I'm an eternal optimist. I work on the Simon Sinek principles of, how, what, and why. But the problem statement India faced actually is, yes, we have seen fatality, but yes, people's livelihood got newer avenues. Think of a logistics provider with a mask who's going to do your RT-PCR test on your doorstep. Think of your grocery delivery, which is getting stored at the bottom of your building, to your online pharmacy delivery, who you can actually stuff it up, to your online entire essentials. And then let's not ever forget retail online. Now, my experiences of, and let's be honest, during the period when lockdown did get relaxed, the restaurants did open up, the hotels did open up with limited capacity with social distancing norms. But the experience of a contactless dining at a Taj or a flying contactless in a Asia or a Vistara was nothing less than exemplary. And of course, Adobe is part of a lot of these experiences. The second part is, will it stay when everything opens up? I am aspirational that the good innovations we have done are here to stay. Because one thing is got, I mean, there's no problem in maintaining a decent social distancing. You don't like people breathing down your neck when you're standing in anywhere, whether it's a mall or a passport office, right? There are some good hygiene which technology has solved during pandemic. India's hygiene was, of course, getting championed pre-pandemic, but technology has solved a lot. See the contactless payment, contactless menus, scanning a barcode and getting your food in front of your mobile while you're physically in the restaurant, or you are at the airport, or you are at a brick and mortar store. That's not going to go away. It's a good thing. It's a good innovation. Some of it will go away. We would like our Jugaad nation to be remembered to the best innovations. India has been championing Jugaad, and the best innovations have come from India, to be honest. And those will still come back. But I'm optimist that life, when become normal, tech innovations during pandemic era are here to stay.
On that note, we're going to move to our rapid fire. And our rapid fire is just a bunch of fun questions. Whatever comes to your head, whatever's at the top of your mind, say it, short, quick, snappy answers. And it's got nothing to do with customer experience. It's got everything to do with getting to know you a little bit better. So Sauvik, here goes. The first question. Most memorable family moment?
When I held both my little ones in the operating theater.
Twins?
Sitting, no, both the times, 4 years in gap.
Oh, okay, so two memorable family moments.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Right. Is there any cricketer, actor, singer, anyone that you feel you are most like, and why?
I'm more like Vivian Richards.
Oh.
Sir Alexander Vivian Richards. Yes.
And why would you say that?
There's a lot of self-pride in what I do. So I'm still the only Indian who's built a homegrown made in India stack of Geo Tata Click, and the third one is coming. But more I learned. Vivian Richards was a great learner.
Tell me what your online guilty pleasure is. What is it that you buy a lot of, or spend hours looking at? I mean, either give money or time to.
I mean, it's a great question. I still buy the first originals of DC and Marvel comics. I mean, I'm still a major DC and Marvel, and I still wait. Like people wait for a new iPhone launch, I wait for a DC and a Marvel launch. Across the world, I will secure it. And I still have the first copies for the last 15 years, and all be DC and Marvel.
That's
most of my popular ones.
To collect. That's quite a collection that you would have, I'm sure. Okay, what are the 3 things in your bucket list post-pandemic times, in this post-pandemic world?
First thing I'll do is I'll play cricket. No, I'll play cricket. I could play 4 games. I played 4 games during the first lockdown and second. I'll play a lot of cricket. I'll play a lot of golf. That's sports.
Okay.
2.
Okay.
The second one is I love England. I've been there for many years. I would like to go back and drive around just with me or my family. The third one, which I'm going to do post-pandemic, is walk around all my metros in India. Just walk without the fear of getting infected. Just walk with probably a mask on my collar, but I'll walk and breathe. In my cities, in my congested India, I want to walk and breathe, and I want to have my Golgappas on time without even thinking of it.
Isn't it amazing? The things that we've got on our bucket list are no longer jumping from airplanes.
Seriously, man. You're so right, Mandira.
It's just the simple things in life which we took for granted. The travel, the walk, the not wearing a mask, all of that has become now
So true.
our bucket lists.
So true. So true.
And finally, complete these 3 sentences. Vaccination is dash.
Mandatory.
A champion is
delivers excellence.
The pandemic taught me to be
a better version of myself.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sauvik. That was absolutely amazing. I hung on to every word that you had to say. Thank you for this engaging conversation.
Hoping we will catch up one day soon.
Yes, indeed, indeed.
Thank you. Thank you so much.